Hello, Serge here from the back porch. We have another great comment and I guess definition of what they feel in their golf swing that leads to making some good points about the swing in terms of having some problems and how we can probably correct them. And that's what I'm going to address in this. And this comes from Neil of Oz, O-Z. Okay, Neil from Oz. I wonder if you've run into Dorothy or Toto lately, huh? But hopefully so that the only place you'd run into them is a sacred burial ground. We're going to try to keep you out of there so you won't have that problem. So Neil goes on to say, great video on the back upswing and forward upswing. My drill on the forward upswing is to imagine you're playing the ball to 1 o'clock and that your body never rotates away from the target and allows your arms to be raised vertically. All those sound very good because that's the whole object, to raise the arms vertically, swing to 12 o'clock. And even perfectly, that gets us to where? And the backswing to 12 and maybe go to 12:05 so that the club is going to stay light. Light club is much easier to swing. It's more controlled, and you're going to be able to swing it much faster. Okay. My club head usually hits me on the right hip and is nearly vertically down my back. I guess that means in the forward upswing, when you hit up here, you're coming over the top, but it comes all the way down here. That is too much release, and that would tend to sometimes be what I call the hook release, and you can start hitting pulls and hooks if you go that far up. You also got to be pretty limber, and your arms have to kind of really fold down pretty bad to get there to the finish. But you can still hit the ball very straight because why? Consistently straight because you're coming straight up to get over the shoulder, very close to the ear. My biggest problem is still a BUS at the top. My hands are very close to the manual, but the club head is still well in the sacred burial ground. Tried many ways to keep it parallel to the target line with no success. If I try to maintain a right hand lifting action, then the right hand takes over on the forward upswing and throws the club over. I must be one of those rare people that can go well into the sacred burial ground and still follow through vertically. Anyone with some ideas? Well, I got ideas, so I'll pass them on, and I'm just going to read this next comment that came in, and I'll wrap them together. Robert F. came back and said, Neil, that has to do with the palms not remaining perpendicular to the ground in the back upswing. I have struggled with the same problem as I tend to over-rotate the arms as I take the club back and up. In videos of your swing, do you maybe see your left arm chicken winging a bit after impact? That would happen to me, and I thought I was making a good forward upswing because the club would finish high with my hands near my head. But I was still struggling a lot with blocks and pushes and fades. Still do when I'm not focused on proper setup and letting my upper arms, left and right, loosen up and drop a bit to the elbows. And droop a bit to the elbows. Okay, so the key here is again, I've mentioned it in other dailies that it's a situation of, I think your bottom hand, right hand for me as a right-hander, is the one that controls when the rotation stop. I'll do it on this side in the backswing, which is basically in the mitt, and I'm already lifting by the time I get in the mitt, so that right-handed forearm are already, shall we say, firming up or activating, and maybe if I really concentrate on it, getting a little increase in grip pressure and forearm pressure to stop that rotation and make it go up. Remember, up is contrary to gravity. It's only going to happen if you make it happen. And so you have to make it happen that it goes up, and you have to make it stay going up, keeping that palm perpendicular to the ground, as Robert F. said. Okay? So conversely, in the forward upswing, the same thing has to happen, and as I've said in the past, we have to it has to be even a more activated, energized gripping pressure of the hand and forearm to stop it, to stop the rotation going inside. And one of the things that helps stop it is also knowing that my body also stops here square to the target, to make it hit that forward tree after it goes in the mitt and hit the tree and come back up, where again I feel like it ricochets like this up into my swing. So I'm never, and I guess maybe another good thought we could get here is that maybe you could add in your mind's eye that once you get here, the club head never gets behind your hand on this side, and it never gets on forward of your hand on that side. So in other words, the club head and the hands are always staying pretty much in the same line. And that might be another one I've just popped into my mind, and I think it's a great thought. So yes, you have to control the club. I'm a swing the club does not swing me. Okay? And this club will only do what either you make it do or you let it do. And if you're letting it do it because of body's in motion, stay in motion, direction in motion. Once you let it go, once you let it rotate a little too much and that club gets on this side of the hand, it's going to keep going there unless you stop it. So the best thing is to not let it get on that side of the hand. Just make it go straight up on both sides. And as I said, it has to be even more energized and activated on this side because it's going through a lot faster. Plus the body's rotating a lot more to get to this position. And you have to know that your body cannot rotate past square to the target and then goes up. Now, Neil, you made a comment that said, I must be one of those rare people and go well into the sacred burial ground and still follow through vertically. That is correct. I'm going to go on record here. I've said it many times, but I'll go on record here again and say there are three players in the World Golf Hall of Fame that have basically quite radical backswings, and yet I believe that they became great golfers. They're all major winners, and they're in the World Golf Hall of Fame because they have one of the best finishes in the world. We have Nancy Lopez, Ray Floyd, and Hale Irwin. All three of them basically suck the club inside really fast. If you actually look at Nancy Lopez, you're actually going to see that before she swung, she raised her arms up and sucked the club way inside. Irwin and Floyd sucked it way inside. I mean, they were way back in here. But the point is they got inside early, which gave them the rest of their backswing to somewhat start drifting back and get ready that once they reach their toe line, they could just swing straight down and up. So from this view, they sucked it inside really bad, and then as they came up, when they got here, they just swung it straight up over their shoulder. To me, it's almost like once they got here, it was like a wall here. They hit the wall, they slid down the wall, and straight up over here. And you look at all three of those players, they have perfect tee finishes right here into the finish, and a finish square to the target, and good posture and form. So, but conversely, or as happens to most golfers today, they don't get the worst point. The point at which they're worst deep with a heavy golf club is at the top of the backswing. So there is no more time to have any recovery or help to improve the downswing. But it can be that even if you're here like this, if you really swing down and snap it up, again, feel like there's maybe a wall here and it doesn't let the club go out, you swing straight down and you really bounce off, ricochet off that forward tree after you go in the mitt and just ricochet straight up and make that club go up, where we talk about the club stays in line with the hands and never gets on one side or the other. You could do it. So as I've always said, you don't hit the ball with your backswing. So if you're only able to really concentrate on doing something on one side of the ball, the most important side is the forward side, because that's the side you hit the ball with, the forward upswing. So if you can make the forward upswing work correctly, and again, the whole key is that after impact, you have to be doing what? Hitting that ricochet off the tree and up the tree, staying vertical to finish close to the air. You get that down and you will hit the ball much more solid and straight, more controlled, and therefore have a better chance of shooting those lower scores. All right, so that's it for the search today on how important it is to control your club so that you swing the club does not swing you. And when you control your club, you're going to hit much better shots and shoot those lower scores. Well, that's it for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.